Well, welcome everyone to your Beginner's Mind meditation. This is Lisa Coleman, and I'll be your guide this morning. So happy to have all of you here. Thank you very much. And I'm going to begin by introducing you to what the beginner's mind is. This is one of the attitudes that Jon Kabat-Zinn talks about, which includes being open and receptive to what is. And if you think about it, being open and receptive to what is what being mindful is all about. Being aware in the present moment without judgment, purposefully aware. So that's what we're asking for. And the reason that's a challenge for human beings is that our minds move. They were made to move. They weren't made to be still. And we're asking them to still our mind's movement. So as we practice today, if your mind tries to run away and go somewhere else, think of it as one of my friends says, like a little puppy that you're gently going to guide back on the path that you've chosen, and be gentle with that mind that likes to wander. So the beginner's mind is not only a place that places us in the now, it also allows us to let go of any thoughts, any ideas, any opinions that no longer serve us. Those opinions contribute to our immediate kinds of judgments of things and situations. And since we're trying to let go of that, by cultivating a beginner's mind, we move away from those quick judgments that we're so apt to make. But even as we notice them, which is a very part of mindfulness, we want to be gentle with ourselves and again, just guide ourselves away from those judgments. Speaking from a brain health perspective, the beginner's mind is incredibly valuable. It can ease depression. It can make us feel more hopeful. The beginner's mind, in terms of brain science, is a way for us to tampen down our amygdala. That's a part of our brain in charge of emotions. And if those emotions get activated by way of the amygdala, which is a part of our limbic system associated with fear and rage, then we can tampen that down and we can recruit our higher mind, which is part of our ventromedial prefrontal cortex. And that part of our mind can calm down our emotions, bring us back into the now, and make us feel calm. So one of the things that I might ask you to do as we begin our meditation, moving away from this discussion, what meditation is and what the beginner's mind is, I'd like to make you aware now of your breath in your body. So if you would, just take your hand to your heart, one hand to your heart, maybe placing the other hand on the belly. And before we move into our posture, let's just take 3 deep breaths, inhaling through the nose, feeling that belly rise under our hand perhaps, and then gentle sighing of the breath out. Another inhale through the nose, sighing of it out. And one more time, inhaling through the nose and sighing it out. And perhaps feeling our hand over our heart with that heart's beat, reminding ourselves of how we can calm our nervous system. Remembering our nervous system is autonomic, our breath is part of our autonomic nervous system. Thus, although we don't have to think about it, we can consciously calm it by recruiting that higher. So find a comfortable place to participate in your meditation. Remembering that our minds will remain aware, but we will be relaxed. You can be lying down for this meditation. In fact, a visualization I'll provide will really work from a lying down orientation. But just be comfortable. If at any point in time you feel like you need to move, feel free to move. Always keeping in touch with that anchor of your breath. And remembering if we move away from our anchor to gently guide ourselves back to it. So, as we begin, inhaling and exhaling, resting back or being gently seated, feeling ourselves root in, becoming part of whatever we're resting on. I'd like to remind us that we're already practiced in letting go, not only of thoughts that no longer serve us, but even letting go of our breath. We have to let go of our exhale in order to inhale. We have to let go of our inhale in order to exhale. Perhaps to become aware of that breath, we could even employ our 4-4 counted breath. Dorsey calls this coherent breathing. Inhaling for 4 on your own count. Exhaling for 4 on your own count. And our other teacher, Marty, invites us to befriend our breath. So in this moment, as we begin our meditation practice, think about befriending your breath, being calm and present with it. As you feel your breath moving into your nose, feel the coolness as it approaches your nostrils. Feel the warmth of that breath as it exits your nose. Feel the rise and fall of your chest. Feel the expansion and contraction of your ribs. On the back of your body, maybe you settle your shoulder blades down your back or rest them on the earth. Bring your attention to your face. Soften any place in your face, perhaps around the eyes, in the jaw, around the lips that feels tight or constricted. Moving down the body, soften the chest. Allow the throat to open. Begin feeling your heartbeat under your hand, reminding yourself of the trustworthiness of that heart and its ability to keep us alive, to keep us present in this moment. Resting your hips down, your legs, your thighs, your knees, ankles, feet, and even toes. Draw calmness into your body with every inhale, perhaps layering on the words, inhaling for the body, and as you exhale, exhaling for the mind. Inhaling for the body, and exhaling for the mind. Inhaling for the body, exhaling for the mind. Feeling that calmness come into your body. Feeling your body melting down into the earth. Feeling your beginner's mind see this moment and see this body as if for the first time. drawing your own attention as if for the first time to the very miracle of your breath, the miracle of your body, and the miracle of this present moment. Even though we are not together, we are present together, joining our energy as one in this still moment. Drawing our attention perhaps to the still place of awareness that is always within us, even in turbulent times. Once again, taking your attention to the waves of your breath. From here, let's take our minds back to our early childhood. Perhaps with the shift of attention, we draw upon memories of the very first time we threw ourselves down into the grass behind our house, or in our front yard, or in a park, or perhaps to the first time we rested on a beach towel and looked up at the sky. No matter where we were, try to think your way back to the blueness of that sky on a summer's day. Think your way back perhaps to the sight of the sun, the giant orb in the sky. Maybe the sun's rays were so powerful you had to hold up your hand, or even as a child lift up your foot to cover up that sun. 2,500 years ago, Heraclitus, a philosopher in Ephesus, Turkey, said, "The breadth of the sun is equal to the breadth of a man's foot." And perhaps he thought that as a child when he lifted his foot up and obscured the sun, and remembered that as an adult. It was his beginner's mind that gave him that perspective. Think about the ways in which children see. And now draw your attention to your own powers of sight. In this place of memory or imagination, what can you see there? Think of 5 things that you can see as you draw upon this sense of sight. Perhaps you can see the trees that fringe that blue sky, or a bird crossing that sky. Contemplate those things that you see. And now, contemplate the things that you hear. Perhaps you could remember 4 things that you hear. Could it be birds singing in a tree? Could it be even a seagull if you're at the ocean? And now recall 3 things that you might smell. Could you smell the sweetness of the grass or the clover entwined with it that you're lying on? Could it be salt smell in the air at the ocean? And now turn your mind to 2 things that you could touch as you rest here, lying back or sitting in that grass, in that clover, or resting on your beach towel. What 2 things can you do in this moment of now? Perhaps you even feel the breath with your hand resting on your belly. Remind yourself of your breath. Perhaps you feel the wetness of your bathing suit, the grittiness of the sand. And now draw your attention to something you might taste in your mouth. Could it be a taste of clover when you chewed on the ends of one of those little fronds of clover woven into the grass? The snack you always prepare when you go to the beach. Savor that flavor, whatever it is. Savor it in this moment. Looking back at the wondrous nature of our senses, offering gratitude for each of those ways in which we encounter this world. Offer gratitude for your breath and your body. And as we contemplate this scene for the last time, we remember Shunryu Suzuki, who wrote Zen Mind, Beginner's Mind, who tells us in the beginner's mind are many possibilities. In the expert's mind, there are few. And we relish those possibilities as we let go of judgments and look forward to all the possibilities that are available to us. Leaving this blue sky of awareness, this image that we saw, and yet retaining awareness. And as we leave this part of our meditation, we come back to our bodies, back to where we are resting. And we think about the possibilities of our beginner's moment. We think about what we can accomplish together. We are aware of that now. We remember that even though we sit in different rooms, even in different states, some of us, that we are together and we can help one another, share energy with one another, create calm together, and feel the infinite possibilities of our beginner's moments. Perhaps now we touch each of our fingers with our thumb, slowly bringing our bodies back into themselves and wherever we travel. Perhaps lifting our arms over our heads and really stretching, doing that beautiful, delicious stretch through the body. Maybe even pulling one leg away and the other side. Maybe even drawing ourselves into a seated position if we weren't already. Feeling the lift of our spine while still relaxing our jaws, letting our shoulders travel downwards. Joining together again in this virtual space. Feeling the calmness of our minds. And knowing that even in the challenge that we face in this current moment, the uncertainties that we face, that we can face those and still calm ourselves with our breath, calm ourselves with our higher mind, calm ourselves with all those resources, lowering our blood pressure, increasing our positivity of mind, our enthusiasm for life, just like a child. And remembering all the wondrous things we've discovered we can do together virtually, not only joining as we have this morning for meditation, but joining with our family for a birthday happy hour, which I did this week, joining with friends to celebrate being alive, watching my grandson read a book and seeing that beginner's mind remind us of the miracle of childhood and the miracle that we can dream, that we cultivate. One more inhale, one more exhale out the mouth. I invite you to blink open your eyes and come back to this moment.